Alright, break time over. I ain't gonna lie to you, I had to take a few days off after the loss, and then after I put my last video out, I didn't even stream on Friday. I just needed some time. I needed some time, spent the weekend with the family, and I needed some time before we got into any conversations about whatever was happening in the off season for the New York Knicks. I needed some time, so I took some time off after the last video. But we here now, and here I am starting with none other than Elfrid Payton. Yesterday, June 6th, an article came out by Mark Berman on the New York Post saying that Elfrid Payton's dad was surprised by his son being snubbed by the Knicks. Basically, the article talks about him being upset that Derrick Rose took Elfrid Payton's spot, and it resulted in nothing as Elfrid Payton sat on the farthest end of the bench. Which, like I said, as a father, I don't care who it is, whether it's Elfrid Payton or whether it's Michael Jordan, whoever the player is. As a father, you see that your player got benched after starting the entire season. Your son got benched, and then it resulted in losses still. You're going to be frustrated. You know, Papa Payton was not impressed. He said this: "I would have liked to see him play based on him playing the whole year." He continued by saying, "That's the only thing I had about it. I was surprised that they didn't try to put him back in and see. I'm not saying it didn't go well because he wasn't in there, but they didn't try to go back to him even in a reserve role." I don't have a problem with that. Like that, again, that is a pops talking about his son. His son started for the team all year long, regardless of what your feeling was for him, and the team played well. Elfrid Payton said it himself. You know, his play might not be great, but he judges his play, by how the team played. So take that for how you will. But then on the other side, I also have to say this about Elfrid Payton. In his 2 starts for the Knicks in the playoffs, it resulted in minimal scoring, very shoddy defense, and us having to play catch up in every single game at a tremendous rate. At least with Derrick Rose, even though we still resulted in losses with Derrick Rose starting, that we were at least competitive in the first quarter for the most part until we weren't. Derrick Rose would keep us in these games in the first quarter while Julius Randle and unfortunately RJ Barrett and even Reggie Bullock were not able to hit shots, compared to when Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle were not hitting shots the first two games. There was no offense being provided by anybody else. So there was the difference of the two. I know there's actually some people who truly believe that we should have left it alone and it would have made a difference. I don't think so. I think we made the right move because we cannot keep going into these games playing catch up. But at the same time, when we put the best scenario out there, we still just were watching as Derrick Rose did all of the work, and it still turned into nothing. So I get Elfrid Payton Sr. here. I hear what you have to say, man. I don't think he's delusional. I don't think nothing like that. I'm sure there's going to be some people in the comments that disagree, but I had to put that out there. So shout out to Elfrid Payton Sr. Shout out to Elfrid Payton. I don't know what's coming next. I just know that the right move was ultimately made in subbing Derrick Rose as the starting point guard. And speaking of point guards, we have a point guard that's in the vision of a lot of Knicks fans. What is this? What is this? There's a point guard in the vision of a lot of Knicks fans, and apparently there are rumors already starting to come around about a certain superstar making his way to New York. Do I look like I buy it? We'll talk about it in the video. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Coach Boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video, guys. Go follow the Twitch. Like I said, I did not stream last Friday, but we back to our normal Twitch schedule every day, all season, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, over on Twitch. So go follow the Twitch channel. Subscribe if you want to. Show your boy some love. You get that free Amazon Prime subscribe. Go ahead and give it to your boy. Appreciate you. From some housekeeping real quick, I do want to say that there is going to be a new intro and a new outro coming to the channel, so stay tuned for that. For those who really enjoyed the song by my boy VSuite, this one. I'm a ghost mode off the coast, ghost mode. I'm about to change it all up. I want to change it all up for the offseason. The offseason is going to be completely changed all the way around, not just for our New York Knicks, but for CK2K as well. I've ran with the same branding stuff for quite some time, so I want to re-up it a little bit. I love, making things like a little more crisp and a little more fresh. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I just want to put that out there for anyone who cares. But let's talk about Damian Lillard. I need to put a disclaimer out there in the very jump that I want Damian Lillard. I've tweeted about wanting Damian Lillard, and everybody who is a Knicks fan or anybody who is an NBA fan should want Damian Lillard on their team. That's a given. But in no way, shape, or form do I believe that there's any real legs to us getting Damian Lillard. And I've been saying this: Damian Lillard, Jalen Brunson, Malcolm Brogdon, like any of those big players that we have to trade pieces for, I don't believe there's enough legs in any of those players to come through. But specifically Damian Lillard, I just don't buy it. I don't know. In this article that was made by Mark Berman, that I have to point out again, New York Post, was basically talking about the fact that the Knicks have already been making calls to the Blazers about Damian Lillard. Now take that as you will. As soon as the Blazers lost their series against the Denver Nuggets, apparently the Knicks have been going in and trying to make their calls and try to see what the word is with Damian Lillard, and just let the Blazers know that if there's any kind of move, let us know what you're looking for, and we'll see what goes on from there. And that's basically what the article says. Now, here's my thing. I don't know how to feel about it, because there's no way we pull in Damian Lillard without gutting our team. And there's gutting in many different ways. There's gutting from the roster, and there's gutting from draft picks. If you guys have not been watching basketball for the Knicks in the past 2 decades, to me, this is a big no-no. I truly believe that there's other teams that have better possibilities of getting Damian Lillard without having to completely gut their team and still have, championship aspirations. I really feel like the Lakers can do what the Lakers do all the time and completely trade their entire roster outside of Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and they're able to pull in a guy like Damian Lillard, which makes a lot more sense. The Clippers, if they did not win that first round, I think that they could have made a move. I think there's other teams that make more sense that can do that. With us, we are in such a fragile point of going from a good team to a great team that if we make the wrong move, we go from a good team to a mediocre team all over again. And that's what this, to me, just it just radiates that energy of us potentially putting ourselves in a bad spot yet again. That to be said, though, Damian Lillard is looking like apparently is looking like he's more open to being moved now than he did in the past, because he dropped this post on his IG with some Nipsey Hussle lyrics. How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meets preparation? If y'all know the song, here's the lyric. And then after losing the series in the post game, he said this: we didn't win a championship, so obviously where we are now isn't good enough. I don't know what a shakeup looks like or what changes will be made or could be made, but obviously as it is, wasn't good enough. He then talked about how, the shooting of the team just wasn't the greatest and that they could have done so many things better, and, they're just in another rough spot. And he's right. I mean, putting the Knicks aside for right now, it really feels like the Portland Trailblazers have plateaued. So, and I've been saying the same thing about Bradley Beal. I mean, Ashley Moss, shout out to Ash. She's been saying it to a bigger degree about Bradley Beal. But both players seem like, they've given their heart and soul for their organizations. And I'm all for lifers on their team. For Damian Lillard, who a few years ago got the Portland Trailblazers to the Western Conference Finals. After then, when that unfortunately fell through for them, it feels like the team plateaued. It felt like the team was just fighting for their playoff lives every year after that, hoping to get in the playoffs, whether it's through a very low seed, trying to get back to that spot, and they just couldn't do it. And the thing is, the rosters that they have in Portland are not terrible. They have a nice assortment of guys there, but at the same time, it's been the same customers from Nurk to CJ to Dame, like the same 3 dudes, and then bring in a center, an Cantor with 2 stints. Carmelo Anthony been the latest 4th guy to help them out. Anthony Simons being the backup guy. But the thing is, it just feels like the roster that they have right now has plateaued. So unless they ultimately, like Damian Lillard said, blow it up where it's just CJ, Dame, and Nurk, or maybe not Nurk, just CJ and Dame, and then a completely new group of guys that make more sense, then that's the only other way I see him staying there. But then the other possibility is what everyone's thinking right now, and it is a possible trade for Damian Lillard. But again, I have to say, I just do not see the Knicks being in the cards of that being one of the deals. I just don't see it. There's definitely a lot of things that point to us making sense to making this deal, from the Leon Rose, from the Johnny Bryant situation. There's so many things that help this make sense. We finally do have assets to make the move, but at the same time, for somebody at Damian Lillard's stature, it just feels like we would have to do too much to get Damian Lillard, whether it is getting rid of Mitchell Robinson, Knox, like all these player names, plus some draft picks to get them, or getting rid of a bunch of players. We don't know the asking price they're going to ask for us. The asking price for us is going to be different for asking price for the Lakers and other teams, because unfortunately we have younger and more assets to give to them to help them move forward that they feel like that they're going to want to do more with, rather than these other teams that are just going to be giving them draft picks and giving them role players that can help them stay good right now, but also be ready for the future. Us right now, they're going to try and rob us blind, and I just don't see this being another possibility. I'm not putting much stock into the Knicks going after Damian Lillard, at least not for right now, but we'll see. Again, as the offseason goes on, we're going to be making more and more videos about what's to come and stuff. I'm going to get some amazing other creators to come on here and talk about possible offseason moves, and I want to talk about that in more depth later, but I strictly want to talk about Damian Lillard right now. And to me personally, like I said, I just don't see the move coming. I think it's possible. I think that we have what it takes, but at the same time, I don't think Leon Rose is one to completely gut this team if it doesn't result in having a team that can help us win long term, and rather than just getting us another star and hoping for the best that way. I just don't think Leon Rose is going to go that route. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Damian Lillard possibly can come and become a Knick? Like, I know you want him. I know all Knicks fans want him. I'm being one of them as well. He's very top of the list. Obviously, it's a want, but whether it's realistic, I just don't know. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below about Damian Lillard. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about Elfrid Payton. Let me know what you're thinking about everything. But yeah, man, the seed has been planted. I don't know what that means. Again, this is another Mark Berman article. You know, Mark Berman is all about this kind of stuff. Take it for what you want to take it as, but we'll see what is to come of it. But it's been your boy CK. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing your comments and your thoughts on this Damian Lillard situation. We'll update it throughout the offseason because that's what we're talking about now. So as the offseason goes on, if this gets any more legs or any more realism, we'll update it as the season goes on. But you know what it is. If you haven't already, make sure you follow the Discord, join the Discord, as well as follow me over on Twitch. There's a lot of CK content coming this offseason. I know it might not all be Knicks, but over on Twitch, even though we're live, we still talk about the Knicks and a lot of other stuff over there. So come and join that conversation. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Happy Monday, people. I'll see you guys with another video tomorrow. But it's been your boy. I'm out of here. Let's get it. See you guys in the next one. Happy Monday and peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes. And I wonder if this is all I'll know.